Welcome back to round 2 of our 3 vs 3 team tournament. We have Bradley on wall 7 and Gavin on ice water. Bradley takes play first, beginning with Meath to search out, I presume, wall 7. This is a much more typical meta matchup that we've seen played in recent big tournaments, with both of these decks making top cuts. Gavin on turn 1 starts with Charlotte, pays 2 for Sid Randell. Oh my goodness, that is quite the opening. If you wanted to counter a wall 7 deck, I couldn't think of 2 better cards to begin with than Sid Randell and Charlotte for protection. Now, barring a Shantoto or some sort of board wipe, Bradley might be in a pickle here. It looked like he had an Amaterasu in hand, and perhaps he's trying to see if any of those cards are affected by Amaterasu, which I do not believe they trigger any auto abilities, so that's not an out at this point. Looks like he's got a Squall, and we know he has a wall 7. Both those will not be so helpful at this point, especially not until damage 3 does that Squall become stronger. Fortunately, both Charlotte and Sid Randell are on the weaker side of forwards. Sid Randell's been around for a long time, but ever since Wall 7's started becoming more popular, we've seen a comeback of Sid Randell. And unfortunately, all Bradley can do is just discard 1. He's going to hold that wall 7 in case he draws an out. But at this point, he's going to take at least 2 points of damage this turn. Gavin going through his cards, seeing what else he can play. Going to swing for the attacks. Get those points of damage in. Early aggro. Now both ice and water have good board removal strategies or ways to counter forwards, either by dual freezing or bouncing. Presumably, by looking at Gavin's card sleeves, this is going to be a 8-centric build. Most likely with Griever and Ultimecia. What can Bradley do at this point? Perhaps play some more backups or search for missing pieces that could help him get out of this. Oh, he plays the Ishtola. He had to play something, otherwise he would end a turn with 7 cards and have to discard 2. Ishtola is a big body at 8k above curve, but unfortunately it does not have the ETB due to Sid Randell. But it is larger and a big body, so perhaps he could stall out and bide some time. Gavin's got a pretty full grip of cards. Does he have a way to remove it? No, he does not, so he's just opts to play the Porum, just in case something scary comes out that needs interaction. At this point, you're not really afraid of a Shinryu because you're playing wall 7. This looks like it's got fire and lightning. Looks like earth and ice. Now he plays a backup Time Mage, going to try and dig for some useful outs. Oh, he's got an Axstar. That could be useful. Not the entry ability, but perhaps on attack he could possibly swing and deal damage. But so long as that Porum is on the board, it's not going to be very useful. And unfortunately, Porum is unaffected by Amaterasu, so that puts puts Bradley in a tough position. And he's going to have to discard one, and he discards the Wall 7. He's come to grips that he will not be playing it this game, and if he's going to find a way out, he's going to have to do it with all the other cards in this deck. Holding on to Amma is a good idea, just in case something bigger comes out that could be a worse threat. At this point, you don't want to let Porum get to 3 counters, but should Gavin have a way to remove that Ishtola, he can go in for some major damage this turn. Gavin's looking through all his options. Perhaps he has some kind of removal? And he does. He plays the Unicorn, which is able to bounce a forward 4 or lower back to the hand. And he's got a wide open field to swing for 3 more points of damage. Unfortunately, no EX bursts on Bradley's side. Things are not looking good. Porum gets another counter. Gavin ends the turn with 4 cards in hand. Doesn't seem like he's going to be playing backups this turn. He's been going pretty aggro. I don't know what Bradley can do at this point, unless he's got a Shantoto. It doesn't look like it. Looks like he's got a Mist Dragon, an Amaterasu. Can't quite make out the other cards, but we've seen some Earth and Ice and Fire and Lightning, so there appears to be a good mixture of colors. In these multicolored decks, you can oftentimes lock yourself out by having all the wrong colors to play the cards you need in hand. Oh, it looks like he's going in for the Jesse backup. That's a interesting card in this deck, but it does allow for some good color fixing in a sense. He can go in for a Vincent in this case to alternate colors, although the Vincent won't be doing too much since there are no backups on the field, and he does not able to use his ETB thanks to Sid Randell. However, he is still a body and he needs to survive if he's gonna try and make a comeback of some sort. Perhaps stall for a board wipe, which doesn't seem to be in any of his draws. The Celtius that was in damage is an interesting tech choice. We don't see that too often, especially not in these Wall 7 decks. And he's going to go with the Squall. At damage 3, he can do some other damage on attack. And he plays Vincent, so he's got 2 bodies now. Hopefully he can survive this turn. He's got 2 damage left, and Gavin's got 3 attackers. But he does have a full grip of cards. If he can either bounce the 2 forwards or dual freeze them, he would have game at this point. Bradley's sitting on an empty hand. Oh, he's got the Laswell. That will dual freeze one of them. And out comes Ultimisia, paying full price and removing that Griever, to dual freeze the remainder. And that looks like it's a game, folks. Congratulations! Oh, we missed a handshake there.